What's up, muscle car people? This is Quinn. Today we have a pretty simple job, but it's something that everyone has to do to make sure that their car lasts a long time and that you don't have any excessive wear and tear in your vehicle, and that is an oil change. So things that you'll need for this job are pretty simple. It's one of the easiest jobs you can do. We have our oil filter wrench, which we may or may not need. It's just a good thing to have. They're cheap and they can get you out of a pinch sometimes. We have a 13mm wrench. That's going to be for our oil drain plug. And then we just have our filter and our oil. So I was just at AutoZone or Advanced Auto, one or the other. And I got both of these for 35 bucks. They do an oil change pair sale, and you can do it for reasonably cheap. So this is my filter and this is my oil. So the first thing that we're gonna do, obviously, is pop the hood of the car. And I kind of let everything sit for a little while. I drove it here to the shop, so I want everything to kind of cool down a little bit. So the second thing is get the car up on jack stands so you can get underneath it. You don't have to put all 4 jack stands on, but I did it just because it's easier, and I figured what the heck, it's an extra minute of work. So what we're gonna do now is we're gonna get under the car and we are going to drain the oil. So I forgot to mention in the beginning, but you will need something to drain your oil into. It doesn't have to be anything fancy, but you can get these for cheap at your local auto store. Just makes it easier. So we're gonna slide this under and we're gonna get to draining the oil. So the location for the oil drain plug on the Fiesta is on the back side of the motor. This is the rear of the car, and it's right here at the very bottom. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take my 13mm wrench and I am going to start loosening up the drain plug, if I can get it broken loose. So my little 13mm wrench wasn't cutting it, so I went and got the big boy here. There we go. And now it is a little warm. And now I have installed a traction bar here, so I'm a little concerned.
Tell us about that real quick.
So this is from TV Performance Products. This is a traction bar. It really helps reduce the torque steer that you get in these cars, which isn't a whole lot to begin with, but it does help a lot, and it's a good bang for your buck mod. And then of course you can see I have a aftermarket rear motor mount installed here. That's from Boomba. And really helps with putting the power down on the vehicle. So hopefully the traction bar doesn't get in the way, but we'll see. This is the first, as I said, oil change I've done on this car, and it's the first I've done with the traction bar installed. So I'm going to get my, I don't know if you can see that very well, but I'm going to get my hand out of the way because I don't know how this is.
We know you like to get your hand dirty.
I try to get it as less dirty as possible, so the wife doesn't yell at me when I come home. Oh, yep. And as you can see, it does get in the way a little bit. But that's fine. That's why we have this big oil receptacle here.
Quinn, it's going all over the jack. Oh my god.
That's bad. We're gonna have to cut this out. That's a horrible place to stop recording because I'm going to say something bad about the traction bar. That's a really horrible spot for it. Jesus Christ.
We're getting all these great shots from an oil change.
There, that's a good shot there. That is very uncool. You told me it was going to happen too.
Yeah.
But I didn't know it was that bad. Well, good thing I brought kitty litter today.
That's going to be so disappointed in us. Especially because you're doing this in his spot of the shop, man. He's gonna be pissed.
It's not a big deal.
He's gonna be mad. I can already see his comment on his own video.
All right, so the next step is obviously put the drain plug back in. I think eventually I'm gonna get a magnetic drain plug just for a little bit of peace of mind, but for now I'm just using the stock one. So don't forget to do this, otherwise you're gonna have a bad time. And I know it sounds stupid, but I see online many people who forget to put the plug back in and start filling up their car and wonder why they have a puddle of oil in the ground. Okay, so now the next step is we need to locate the oil filter, which is it's in front of the car. It's right here at the front of the block of the engine. No big deal. So unfortunately, unlike my Subaru, this one is kind of horizontal, so probably gonna make a mess, but
You even able to get it with your hand?
yeah, it looks like it's loosening up.
Well, let me get under there. I want to film the mess.
So as we said, the oil wrench is optional, but I was able to get this one with my hand. So watch out, Jared, there's gonna be some oil coming down. So I just cracked it loose. I'm gonna let it drain out of oil before I take it off the whole way. Let's try and not make too much of a mess here. Here we have our oil filter, and one thing you wanna do when you're putting this on is you wanna just dip your finger in the oil and just give it a little bit on the seal there. This is gonna just help it break free next time you have to do an oil change, so that you don't have to use the wrench, and it just is better for the rubber, I guess. I don't know, but I've always done it. It's just a good thing to do.
You're saying you should always oil the rubber.
Yeah, the seal. Yeah, there's a rubber gasket.
But that probably applies to a lot of applications, right? Like always lube up the rubber.
Yeah, yeah. More than one application here,
Okay,
friends.
just wanted to check.
And so we find our.
And we're not gonna fill it up.
We're not going to fill it up because it's going on horizontally. At least that's what I would do. I'm not that worried about it. So you don't want to over tighten these things. Just hand tight, it's fine. You don't really want to bear down on them. There, that's fine. All right. So next thing we're gonna do is grab our funnel, which I forgot to mention at the beginning of the video. It's good to have one of these things. Makes your life a little bit easier. We're just gonna put it into the opening here. And the Fiesta ST takes 4.2 quarts with the new filter. I'm not sure if that applies to the SEs or if it's just the turbo models. I'm guessing they're all the same, but don't quote me on that. I'm just gonna shut up now and pour this oil. Oh yeah, I should add that we are using 5W20 per the manufacturer's recommendations. And Jared, so you actually use Amazon oil, don't you?
And Costco.
And Costco, because we have, from our extensive research, we have deducted that all oil is kind of the same, right?
Yeah.
We'd say that as long as you're doing a regular oil change, you really don't have to be that worried about getting the most expensive or the best oil. Now I say as long as you're doing regular changes. If you're one of those people who go 10,000 miles, maybe it's worth spending more, I'm not sure, but...
Doesn't that bottle say protects for 10,000 miles?
It actually says 15,000, where does it say? 15,000 miles of guaranteed protection. I'm not gonna chance it. The way I'm gonna do it is I'm gonna reset my odometer, my trip calculator in the car. I'm gonna zero that out, and then I might go another 4,000, 5,000 maximum. And so to wrap it up here, we are just going to put our oil fill cap back on. And that's that. That's an oil change, guys. That's all there is to it. Super easy. One of the best and most healthy things you can do for your motor. Like we talked about, recommend doing them on a regular basis. And yeah, that's that. Now, another thing I want to hit on is what do you do with your old oil? So around here, we have AutoZones and Advanced Autos.
Wait, what do we do with our old oil?
Yeah.
Let me show the internet. What we do with our old oil is we just stack it here until it gets about to the height of the white brick, and then we take it to an oil place.
Yeah, and so you can just drop off your old used oil at an AutoZone or an Advanced Auto.
Is that what you're gonna do today?
Yeah, I will. I think the nice thing with other cars is that they take a whole can. This one doesn't. So normally I would just put it back into my can and take it, but we gotta find a place to put it today. That's neither here or there. Yeah, so don't pour it down in the ground or anything like that. There's places that take it for free, so that's what you want to do. And yeah, so that's it. That's an oil change, guys. That's on a Fiesta 2016 ST, and I'm sure this goes for, what would you say? Is it 2014 to 2017 in the U.S.? Don't quote me on that, but it's got to be the same for all of them. So thanks for joining us today, guys. I hope you learned something, and if you have a fast car, you better bring it.
All right, guys. Thanks for watching this video. I'm going to link a couple more videos that if you like this one and you made it all the way to the end, you're going to definitely like these. So watch them. Also, that middle button right there, I think is probably, somewhere in there. Hit that button to subscribe. Thanks for watching. Stay tuned for more action.